prosperity and progress. Thank you for your attention.
On behalf of the General Assembly, I wish to thank the President of Turkmenistan for the statement just made. I now give the floor to the distinguished representative of Egypt to introduce an address by the head of state.
السيد الرئيس.
Mr. President, ladies and gentlemen, it is my honor to introduce to you an address by His Excellency Abdel Fattah el-Sisi, President of the Arab Republic of Egypt, for the general debate during the 75th session of the General Assembly. I thank you.
بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم.
In the name of God, the merciful, the compassionate. Mr. President, allow me at the outset to extend my thanks to Mr. Tijani Mohammed Bandi for his distinguished efforts as President of the General Assembly of the United Nations during its previous session. I would like to wish you, Mr. President, success in conducting the work of the current session objectively and wisely. Mr. President, the convening of the high-level segment of the current session garners particular importance this year as it coincides with the commemoration of the 75th anniversary of the establishment of the United Nations. It also comes at a time when the world is facing the novel COVID-19 pandemic. It has caused tragic human loss as well as a profound economic and social impact. Mr. President, Egypt, given its history, location, and given its African, Arab, Islamic, and Mediterranean affiliation, and as a founding member of the United Nations, has its own vision regarding the approach to be adopted to improve the performance and develop the effectiveness of the multilateral international system while paying special attention on the United Nations. I would like to take this opportunity to go over some of the measures that could help us achieve our common goals in the 3 UN pillars. The first pillar, regarding maintaining international peace and security. It is imperative for all of us to adopt an approach that guarantees the implementation of resolutions adopted within the multilateral system. Priority should be given to the implementation of the well-established rules and principles of international law, which are enshrined in the Charter. This requires political will on behalf of member states to respect and implement such resolutions and enhance the United Nations on 2 main fronts. 1, the need to diligently follow up on the implementation of what had been agreed upon and take all necessary measures to assist states in implementing their obligations and building their capacities while taking into account the principle of national ownership. Second, the need to hold states that deliberately breach international law and UN resolutions accountable, especially resolutions of the Security Council. In this context, it is no longer acceptable for binding Security Council resolutions which deal with counterterrorism and which provide a legal framework for combating this deadly scourge to remain without implementation and without full commitment by some member states, which believe that they will not be held accountable for political reasons. It is regrettable that the international community continues to turn a blind eye to a number of states that provide support to terrorists, whether by funds and weapons or by providing a safe haven to them and political and media platforms. They also facilitate the transfer of terrorist fighters to conflict zones, especially Libya and Syria, be for it. Egypt's interest in upholding international peace and security include protecting people from the scourge of armed conflict through launching comprehensive political processes based on relevant Security Council resolutions. In Libya, for example, Egypt continues to adhere to the political resolution process